So that's why St. Patrick's Day is a great day to be green. Hey everyone, this is Rabbit Small Animation Bliss, and welcome to another animated tops video. So today's top 10 video I'll be doing today is my top 10 animated green characters. And before I get into this, here are a few words from the channel. Alright Animaniacs, now let's get on the social media train. Want to chat with us in 100 words or less? Then check out our Twitter account. Want to chat with us within a group? Then check out our Facebook account. Want to get the lowdown on everything dealing with animation on this channel? Then check all of the above. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. So this is a special kind of video that I've always wanted to do. Since it's March, and March means that it's St. Patrick's Day, I wanted to do a top 10 video where I talk about some of my favorite animated characters who happen to be green. Now, the animated characters that I talk about in this video either could have green skin or green fur, depending on what kind of species they are, or they could be wearing green clothing that goes along with their characters. And before I get into this video, here are a few things to know about. First, this list is based off of my personal opinions, so there might be some characters on this list that you guys might not agree with. And second, there might be one or two characters on this list that might disturb some people. So if you don't like certain disturbing aspects like gore or blood or something like that, you might want to trend this list with caution. And now let's get started with this list. So the Great Gazoo was a character that appeared in the TV series The Flintstones, and he was a character that was added towards the end of the Flintstones run. And the thing about his character is that he was regarded as one of the most controversial characters from the Flintstones franchise, because he came at a time when the Flintstones had jumped the shark, and he brought some elements to the show that clashed with the show's Stone Age setting. And despite the fact that the Great Gazoo was a bit of an odd addition to the TV series, I find myself liking the Great Gazoo as a character. Now don't get me wrong, he's not my most favorite character from the Flintstones franchise, but I didn't find him to be such a bad character overall, and I thought that he brought some interesting aspects to the show. Like, he brought some more fantasy aspects to the show. Even though the show takes place in the Stone Age, I do like the fact that we're able to have more fantasy elements with the Flintstones, and we have to thank the Great Gazoo for bringing those elements to the show. So Gumby was one of the earliest claymation animated TV series that came out around the 1950s through the 1960s. And I always found this character to be really interesting because not only was he a green character who happened to be clay animated, but he also goes on a lot of weird adventures with his friends. And I always enjoyed those adventures that Gumby goes on with his friends, even though they're very weird. And I just love the style of Gumby himself, as he looks like a stick figure who's made out of clay, and he happens to be green. So Poison Ivy is one of the villains from Batman's famous Rogues Gallery, and even though she has appeared in the comics, I wanted to focus more on her character from Batman the Animated Series, because that's where I first saw Poison Ivy as a character, and also because of the green outfit that she wears throughout that series. I found Poison Ivy to be a very interesting character because she's one of the villains who's able to control plants, and she's able to use her plants to attack Batman throughout various episodes, and I just love that aspect of Poison Ivy's character, as she's able to control plant life and use it as a weapon. And I also really like her clothing style, as she wears this green costume that matches with the plants she takes care of. So I do like that aspect of Poison Ivy's character, and I thought that she was a really interesting character in Batman the Animated Series. So Marvin the Martian was one of the most interesting characters from the Looney Tunes franchise because he's not an animal character like most of the other Looney Tunes characters are, but he's actually an alien being who's trying to destroy the Earth. And I really found that aspect of Marvin the Martian's character very interesting because he's like the only alien in the whole cast, and yet he's out to destroy the world. And I really like his outfit. Like most of the time he wears a lot of green with his space outfit, and I just found his space outfit to look really good on his character. And again, I really like Marvin the Martian as a character, as he's one of the most interesting characters in the Looney Tunes franchise. So Ben Tennyson is a character who is famous for the Ben 10 franchise since he is the main character. And even though in the first Ben 10 series he was mostly wearing a white shirt, I'm going to be talking about Ben's character in Ben 10 Alien Force, where he's much older and he's actually wearing a green jacket throughout the entire series. And I really like Ben's character in the series because Ben is much more mature than he was in Ben 10, and I just love how he's able to try to take action and how he tries to use his Omnitrix, which allows him to turn into various aliens to try to save the day. And I really like Ben's outfit in this season, as I love his green jacket, as it really makes him look snazzy throughout that season, and it just makes him really stand out as a character that season. So Piccolo from the Dragon Ball series was once Goku's enemy, especially during the Dragon Ball series. But once Dragon Ball Z kicks off, he becomes one of Goku's greatest allies, and he also becomes a mentor towards Goku's son Gohan. And that's an aspect of Piccolo's character that I really loved, is that he becomes one of Goku's closest friends, and he's also a mentor towards Gohan. And I really enjoy seeing the relationship between Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo. And I like the fact that he's a Namek who has green skin, and he wears these pretty cool outfits. And not only is he a very powerful character, he's also a very mature character throughout the series. And I just love the fact that Piccolo turns into a hero throughout the series. So Flippy from Happy Tree Friends is probably my most favorite character from the series. I like the fact that Flippy seems to have two different personalities. One of his personalities is that he's a nice guy who tries to help out everybody, and then another part of his personality is that he's an axe-crazy guy who goes out killing everybody in sight. And there's actually a reason for this. It's because he's suffering from PTSD from fighting in the war, and that makes him one of the few Happy Tree Friends to actually have a backstory that actually shows why he acts the way he does. And that just made Flippy into one of the most interesting characters in the Happy Tree Friends series, just for having a really good backstory and just being a very psychotic green bear whenever he's reminded of the war at any time. So Shrek is an ogre who lived in the swamp for many years, and for many years he didn't have any friends because everybody was afraid of him because he was an ogre, until one day he meets up with Donkey and Princess Fiona, and he ends up falling in love with Princess Fiona, and he becomes good friends with Donkey, and that's how his character progresses throughout the series. And I've always loved Shrek as a character because I like the fact that he has a character arc where he's trying to make friends with people and he's trying to be himself as well. And that's the aspect of his character that I really like about Shrek, is that he's actually a nice guy, even if he can be a little rough towards people at times because of his loneliness that he suffered throughout the years because he's an ogre and everybody was afraid of him. So I really do love Shrek as a character, and I'm glad that they're able to do a lot more with his character over the years. So the Grinch is probably one of my most all-time favorite characters from the Dr. Seuss franchise, even though he's like a step behind the Cat in the Hat, who is my all-time favorite character from the Dr. Seuss franchise. But I love the Grinch's character because he starts off his story as being grouchy about Christmas, and then he tried to ruin Christmas for the Who's, but then later on he discovers the real meaning of Christmas and he decides to go and join the Who's in celebrating Christmas. And again, I love the Grinch's character because he may have started off being grumpy towards the Who's, but then he goes through some character development and he starts discovering what the true meaning of Christmas is all about. And I really love that characterization of the Grinch. And probably my most favorite version of the Grinch is definitely the original 1966 version that was directed by Chuck Jones. That's the Christmas special I love to watch every year, and I just love that interpretation of the Grinch so much. So of course, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are my all-time favorite green characters. Ever since I was little, I grew up with these characters. Like, I love the fact that we have a show that's all about these 4 turtles that have special ninja abilities and they're able to use it to fight against Shredder. And I just love each of their personalities. Like, my favorite Ninja Turtle is definitely Michelangelo, as he has a very fun-loving personality that either annoys the other turtles or keeps them going whenever they're doing battle. And I also like Raphael as a character because he's gruff, but he still cares about his brothers very much. And so I think that each of the Ninja Turtles have very interesting personalities, like Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Donatello. And I think each of them have really interesting personalities. And because of that, they became some of my most favorite animated characters of all time. So I definitely love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just for being green characters with attitude and are able to perform all of these awesome ninja skills while saving the world at the same time. So those are my top 10 favorite animated green characters, and tell me in the comments down below, what do you guys think about this list? And who are your favorite animated characters who happen to be green? Please let me know in the comments down below. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rowdy's Blog Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later. Hey animation fans, like this video? If you want to see more animated content from this channel, then please hit that big old animated subscribe button so that you can get more awesome content from this channel.